Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Strategic Command. Hearts of Iron. You remember that game, don't you? Hearts of Iron? Yeah, Hearts of Iron 3. All right, well, we're in March 1937, so we've finally gotten out of there. Now, I did make and just released earlier today, need modding help. We'll get into play. Oh, well, before we get into all this, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the videos, comment below, just say hi gamer or something like that. That'd be cool. Okay. I very much don't want to just go, hey, gamers' prejudices, this thing must, whatever the thing is, must be bad because gamer doesn't like it. Been trying to avoid that with playing through here. Things like with the 7 brigade only divisions, the resource trade, all these things, the trade offer things here. And that, yeah, I know we have plenty of money now. Excuse me. And stuff, but let's go down by one. Naval bomber prototype. I'm trying to think of how to put things. And I have sort of learned in life to just sort of stop and think instead of go hum too much, though I still have that tendency. Where do we go? Naval bombers. Stop being researched. Fighter bomber prototype. Okay. Sweden, we would give them money for fuel. No, thank you. What do we have here? Fuel, no. No. Keep getting interrupted, so I'm going to stop here for a second. I have a feeling that, oh my God, I'm trying to think how to put this and so it comes across as I mean it, because I don't mean this to be too negative at all, but like with the money, and he was rattling off with me when we were having very nice conversation. We have all these resources across the top, and one of them is money. So want to make the resources matter, useful. I know I'm to a degree putting words in his mouth. You can go back and watch the interview if you want. But like I say, to me, money here is purely, because he was saying, well, what do you want? 2 types of money, a domestic money and an international exchange money? No. I don't want domestic money at all. What is in my mods, because again, I look at this as dealing with him as a player, and obviously what I do here is a player, but I comment during it, so it has greater influence. That's why people use the term influencer, and however good or bad people think that term is, it is correct, because I'll tell you, a game that I like, I watch a YouTuber play it and doing something that makes me want to go in and play that game some more. Just that sort of Pavlovian, or I don't know if it's Pavlov because that's ringing the bell and whatever, but to sort of, see somebody eating a really good looking burger on the TV and you go, I'm getting hungry and that would be good, not that they didn't like the burger beforehand. They liked the burger, but just seeing it reminds them on the TV that maybe I should go get a burger, at a place or something like that. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we do influence things. So, but as a player influencer, but as well as a modder, because I haven't done as extensive modding as Black Ice, and no one person has done as extensive extensive modding as Black Ice because it's been a very huge cumulative effect. And I did not do, and you can see the credits on the page. I did not do TRE alone in the sense that there were a lot of contributors, but I did all of the actual sort of programming, and I have used some people's event images that were good enough. Sometimes they would make I got to where a few people, they make an image, and I go, yeah, can you send me your raw material graphics for it? Because you're sort of kind of there, but then I would, with what they did, quickly whip up a, at least to me, more aesthetic looking event image, even using just the same basis of material that, graphic material that they used. So it's a lot. I mean, trust me, it really helps when somebody goes, here's an event idea, here's some text for it. I mean, they sort of create the event, and here's what the effects I would have in the game, and here's an event image. And I go, yeah, that's close. Let me clean that up a bit and put it in, even if I'm, just looking at their, the text for their event, and I don't mean just the written text. I mean, the coding. I'm just taking that as a guideline and, copying and paste from my own stuff and doing it. That really does help. Trust me. So it isn't purely a one-man effort in the sense of, and I had a lot of editing help and stuff. So I had a lot of help, absolutely. But still, it's primarily me on it. So I've done a lot of what, I haven't done real map editing, edited, things that go on the, put forts on the map or whatever, but not proper. And, some of these California picture mod, I didn't, if they were decent, like, where's LA? I left that, but, some of these other areas got actual, like, desert or mountain views from there. But yeah, not everywhere in California, just a few places. So I've done a lot of the modding. So also coming from a modder standpoint, to me, domestic costs, not a currency particularly, but domestic costs to me are mostly done in either supplies, one of the main thing, or as done here, normally for costs, there are obviously penalties for, to the available ICs. And sometimes, like, west wall, because all that concrete bunker has steel reinforcements, let's, pull out a bunch of, metal out of your stockpile kind of thing. So, although of course you do use metal when you make supplies and whatnot. So yeah, I don't want a currency for that. And he has a variable, and he wants to make it meaningful and something that you need to play, to get a benefit out of, just because it's there. I feel, where again, I say I look at that as purely as an exchange medium between countries, purely. Yes, some of my domestic events do use currency, money, whatever. But I also, in this normally minors, go like, well, buying all these radios, do they, the government's supplying them all. I think like the Volkskamp or whatever the Volks radio thing has some. And I figured, are they importing, like something like Germany doesn't have a lot of copper natural resources or something to make some of the coils in the radio, the wires. Are they importing some stuff, components to make these radios? Maybe. So let's, again, I'm not entirely sure. Let's go, okay, here's a little bit of a cost. It isn't really meant to. And then I know I'm going in and explaining a lot of things here. I hope it's interesting. But like I have an event that, send Hitler Youth to, tours of Britain. And there were a bunch of them. I found 2 or 3 actual recorded with photos and a little blurb about them. Hitler Youth, sort of like, is in the spirit of the Boy Scouts, shall we say, though they're very different organizations, but both are youth organizations. Sent Hitler Youth as goodwill measures, and also, I do believe, to one degree or another, Familiarize yourself with terrains that might, because they also did it to France and other places. Familiarize yourself with terrains that might become battlefields in the future without ever mentioning that. But I do think that is a component to it. Send a Hitler Youth to England, and it just sort of one or two events in there. I forget exactly how many there are, dealing with some of that. They're just sort of representative of many other small groups of, 30 boys off to go to England for a few days and come back. Well, that takes foreign currency, exchange situation. So that costs money, not, ICs, because putting some boys and a few either older boys or, men guide, tour chaperones or whatever you want to say on trains and ferries and whatever to go to England doesn't cost any freaking resources, but it does cost, like I say, some foreign exchange currency. So yeah, I definitely use money in TRE as a cost, but it's focusing on international. I know I'm going to this. So we have a fundamental disagreement there. But I wanted to give all this a chance, and we're still going to play more of this series, continuing on to give that a chance. And the strategic resources, and what's in a name? Name is could just be BS now. And I go, uranium. They wouldn't be giving up uranium. And he goes, well, have you ever tried to buy uranium? No, because I haven't played that far. Well, you can't. Okay. And so he's right. There's a few of these things here that you can't buy, I gather, that you can only get through the traditional means. But I still, and he sort of uses these here to, it's true that Germany had a real copper problem. I would be shocked if there was zero copper mining effectiveness in Germany, but it may be as a percent of needed use for copper wires in, radios, whether the radios are in somebody's home or in somebody's tank, or electronic wires within a tank that are using copper. I mean, you can use other things for wire, but copper is a good thing, for whatever, electric motors that drive the current around in a tank or something like that. And then the copper, where brass casings, because brass has copper component in it, and often for bullets themselves have a copper jacket. If you don't understand, lead is soft. Lead is good for a bullet because it is dense. The denser the bullet, the better it flies through the air. It also allows a little bit of deformation, or a lot of deformation, if it's just basically pure lead, when it's fired, so it hits the lands and grooves. But that's too much. So copper is fairly soft. So putting it in a copper jacket, it holds it together more than just pure lead, and it still does well. It doesn't wear down. I mean, it does a little bit, but not significantly. It does, but the lands and grooves in the barrel, as you shoot more and more, you will wear out a barrel, of course, even without abusing it, like a machine gun barrel that you can often abuse by getting way too hot. But you also want it to sort of catch the lands and grooves well, and so copper is a good sort of middle ground. It isn't as hard as brass. It's softer than brass, but it's harder than lead. So it doesn't deform as much as it travels out the gun, downrange, and then when it hits something like a body or wood or whatever, it keeps its shape better for the impact, where lead very quickly, whether it's on a human body or, there's probably some on YouTube. I've seen a few, but the variance between taking a bullet that is purely a soft lead bullet, because you can also make alloys of lead that are a bit harder, but a soft lead bullet, and shoot it at a piece of wood and do that exact same chambering loading of that bullet with a copper jacket on it and shoot it and see the penetration difference. So copper is a very, very useful thing to put around a lead bullet. And lead is one of the best metals for bullets out there. So, but it has its deficiencies as well. And an all copper bullet has been done, can be done, doesn't work as well as lead because lead is denser. Lead is softer, but you need that not crispy hard outer shell, but just that mild outer shell makes it great. So, and so the needs of copper for the German ammo production, their domestic levels of production of copper, maybe very maybe just, quite honestly, I don't know. It may be 5% of the needs. It may be 35% of the needs of it, but it wasn't anywhere near getting to anywhere the needs of ammunition manufacturing as well as other rather critical uses of copper within Germany. So the idea of a metal shortage based upon the lack of copper here, as we see here, they do have the zinc. Zinc is one of the possible, I don't know if they were using it. Again, I don't know everything, but one of the possible components to mix in with the lead to make it just that little bit harder, that it's still lead in idea, but it's no longer soft, pure lead. So according to this, and I'm believing this, that somewhere in here in Germany they have enough zinc for its ammo production, but they don't have enough copper, and I'm totally believing that. So the idea of having a metal disparity or deficiency, I should say, metal deficiency because of not having copper. Okay, that's real, and the Soviet Union is similar. They do not, for all the size of the Soviet Union, they use mild steel casings and whatnot and jackets for ammunition because they have copper deficiencies on it for, again, that scale of production. So some of these countries should have maybe a negative hit, whether it should be 10% or 1%. I don't know. That's a judgment characteristic. But even if we take, I know this has gone into a long lecture here about it, but even if we take the idea of that nations like the United States, which has lots of copper, is willing to, I think we do in this game, do we? I don't know. I know Canada may or something, I don't know, but there's lots of copper out there somewhere. South Africa, I think, has lots of copper too. That if we take that, that's an element that would be willing to be traded internationally and not hoarded because of its strategic value. Okay, but then do we go to the point of, are they going to be willing to sell you enough that alleviates your strategic needs without, this is the key point, without being a member of your faction? Because this is, three faction game, three alliances, because Soviet Union is sort of kind of an alliance with the West eventually, but never really quite fully like there was between Britain and the USA. And when you say Britain, you say, the British Empire. And those are the only two that really matter, because obviously France and Belgium and the Netherlands and whatnot are conquered home countries. And so, the Belgian Congo, of course, fully, cooperates with their potential saviors if they need, some sort of, uranium or something for some sort of project that the Americans may want something for, and if you get a hold of, the Netherlands, for a while the Netherlands is, in this part of the Netherlands is in the Allies, because they will, of course, maintain most likely this part, Suriname, or what becomes Suriname, as the Free Netherlands or whatever. While this is either directly controlled by the British or the Dutch are in the alliance. You get the positive resources out of you know, here, certainly, you know, rubber pouring out. Now, British mails will be getting plenty of rubber from here too, but still, the idea that once you're in that alliance, then more than just these, which can be traded, rare materials, which can be traded. It's okay, good. You know, because this is already the copper and the whatever that's meant to here. That's gold up here. Okay, so once you get it into your alliance, then you get the alliance effects. So that can probably be disabled fairly easy, and I know I'm still getting on this idea. But so I wanted to give more of a chance to taking a look and thinking about what's going on with all of their changes, and not just presuming change equals bad. And I got a little further in one of the earlier playthroughs, and we're going to continue this one. So just played some of my own. Air launch torpedoes, that's a good one for 1937. Come on. So that, looking at that, I want to change all this, or eliminate some of this stuff, which I think we can. And I know they're working on 10.4 something. And they're being smart, in my opinion, by not giving us an expected ETA of arrival unless they truly absolutely mean it, because that's what I got rather upset with them once for. And you cost me a lot of growth and whatever by saying, well, it's not our responsibility. I know it's not your responsibility. But you said you were going to have it available, and so I waited. And then you said, well, it's coming soon. So I waited some more. I just would have started another Hearts of Iron series. And I do think that's still hurting me because a lot of people that would like to watch this haven't come back because YouTube doesn't notify them well. And whatever. But there was a long time without we would give them money for crude oil. Okay, we'll try this. And so, no, it's not their growth or lack of growth that they cost me. It's not their responsibility. They're not responsible for my channel. It's just the upset and very severe upset on my side was the sort of, well, it's coming soon, which sort of kind of means if you want, and if wait until this time and then it'll be out. And yeah, and without coming in and going, yeah, nope, not coming soon. Go ahead and play the current thing. That's what upset me. And that is their responsibility, that they were long-term teasing, shall we say. And I need to be able to make informed decisions on what to do next. So if they truly think they got something and they want to say, okay, well, we think we got it working, we're going to test it for another week or so, and then we're going to release it, great. And but otherwise, I do think it is best that they don't promise something. I want to upgrade my mix support by heavy anti-air detachment 4. Supply consumption more, fuel consumption more. Heart attack, piercing attack. I guess. I don't know. More worried about either additional cost to the mixed support brigade or significantly slower. Yes, you may have energy. So yeah, by not giving an ETA, I'm happy with that because I can make my choices based on the idea that, yeah, they're working on something. We sort of kind of conceptually always know they're working on something. And whether it is going to be primarily bug fix and tweak, or hey, here's a whole bunch of new, features that we're adding and it's going to take a year to do. Either way, I hope they fix some of the stuff okay. But hopefully and I'm still talking about looking for modding, probably anything that they're changing for the next minor, hopefully, release will be something that I won't have a significant, won't be so significant changes that the modding work that I will do won't, require to be doing everything all over again. There is a little bit of that with just simply. And so I know this is a long time. That's construction of Air Force HQs. We can now build HQs. I don't know that I like that. Why wouldn't I like it? I don't know. But I don't know that I like that. Not that that's terrible. I don't know. My new friend Klaus might like it because he can build he can build more historically based. Well, okay. Well, do I need to hit the OK button for that to happen, or do I need to maybe click this? Klaus is one of those players that admittedly I am not, but that is rather cool in that he likes to research and have very historical orders of battle and naming and everything. And hi Klaus, if you're watching. I'm just not that. Oh, we have also make for international settlements, which I want to do. Just not that detailed of a player. Okay. Brigade. I'm just presuming it's down here. I guess maybe not. Maybe it isn't buildable, even though it sort of says it is. I don't see something that looks like an Air Force HQ, which should look like the Flieger Corps here with that. Okay, let's attach this to, I guess, where Chris. Commandeer Admiral, just basically another naval HQ that we could use at some time, and a sort of divisional level HQ. And we have a motorized HQ, which we're going to leave just sitting there. So what I'm going to need help with, and I know we're still talking a lot about, at least I'm still talking a lot about this, is going through all of the orders of battle that are established with TRE and okay, Seaport. Nope, I guess we just got more research points. And making sure that they match the current unit types, maybe. And one of the things I'm worried about here is, my understanding is, to have the right specialist laws, maybe for some, again, like we could look here, I guess, well, or here. Okay, yes, here, some of these advanced training tech, like for specialist training tech model 1960, I guess, I don't know why that is Whatever. Um, I know it's just a model and a date, but I don't know what that is. And some of these are fixed when the unit is put into the production queue. And if you do it through an OOB, I gather some of these are rather random. So that they might need to be put, instead of in an OOB that puts them in a production queue, put them onto the map directly, and things like that. I guess we'll start this, even though it's going to hurt my ICs by 2. Oh, wait a minute. We just got lots of ICs there, didn't we? Okay, so we've lost our penalties, or many of the penalties, for the units that we got recently. All of these units here. More Flieger Core, okay. Now let's look over here, because I am more willing to do 38s, of course, now. But I really want to do 38s that are, well, I don't know. Well, let's go for gasoline engines. So now that we have that, and we've learned a little bit from that, let's order the battleship Bismarck. And, okay, so we're going to do this. So until April 39. Okay, 3%. Again, that's probably one of the variables. Now, did that? No. Okay, so that. Okay. Didn't put down a new thing. I guess that's going to be, and that probably 3% probably isn't too bad. 3%. 6 ICs. 3%. Now that would be more like 7 or 8 ICs until April 39. So we were look here. Man, they've got a lot of new things here. 24 ICs until what would be the date? I don't do the math. January 41. Yeah, okay. So we're going to cancel that. Yes, of course. I guess maybe regular battleship. That's probably command battleship. What's the difference here? I don't know. No, it's the same basic cost. Light carrier pocket battleship. Okay, so it probably isn't too bad of a price cost, the 3% until 39. It really probably isn't. Now that we are here cranking a few more ICs, we're going to want to get some of these just done so that we have rare materials, because that was why we were doing it. So let's do that. And let's form a couple of these. These I think will immediately spawn on the map. And it just sort of things like get some of this stuff coded up appropriately for ERE, and just help me in going and looking at it all. Okay, 3. Bond unit. Let's I'm clicking the wrong thing. Let's form one more. Don't need to overstack too much. See, okay, now this is 16% until August 37. Ooh, that's going to be a big chunk. Again, I'm understanding that they are. Okay, yeah, well, that's a lot of units, not just something like that, but that. Okay, that's fairly large. And after the next day, it'll recalculate that down, presumably. Yes. And here, does Venezuela freaking need to buy aluminum from China? That's the USA. We give them supply. Yes, we may have supplies. Light bomber prototypes have advanced. So need to go in and look at all that, and I can do it. Eventually, I will get enough time to do it all, but it was light bomber, right? Do we want to push to 38 just yet on it? I don't know. Let's move. We're gonna do a 38. Let's move single engine fighter prototype. You will no longer receive money for supplies. Oh, that's helpful. Well, let's see here. We want to sell supplies to somebody. Can the U.S. has money? Okay. And the Soviet Union has money in abundance right now. Now they have put a sort of maximum amount of supplies. I'm not going to go towards that because I think that may be, I don't know, a bit of a false thing producing that much. Buying copper from the United Kingdom, the Republic of China. So some of these things to me are suspicious because what does Venezuela need aluminum for, really? That it wants to spend its money on. A lot of aircraft production or something, I don't know. And so I think I can disable that part easy, but some of this other stuff. And so, yeah, I am looking for an assistant or two to help me with TRE and updating it. And we definitely use the Discord server as primary means of communication, including voice chat at some point to talk to each other. Yes, we'll give you a medal. Seeing Portugal, how's the war going? Okay, well, they've stabilized the front lines, it looks like. The Nationalists have lost this area, but have taken this area and have gotten rid of all of their, rear area pockets, if you will. Guernica is a fortress right now. Should it be? I don't know. Don't know. All this, I don't know. I know there was sort of fortified around Madrid. What don't you guys like? Talking as a very loud motorcycles going by outside. I gotta build a studio someday. I gotta move and gotta build a studio. Not that the studio would be soundproof, but would not have windows onto a minor street, but still one that gets some traffic. I want to, wherever I build a studio, I want to block up so that there are no windows in the room. So you still hear stuff, but not nearly as big. What do you not like about Black Ice? Now that, TRE was meant to be simply an event primarily. I mean, you can look at their new generals and whatever else, but really an additive to Black Ice. Now that I've started down the path of a gamer's remix, what the hell's one more step? Not that I want to just do anything or everything, but what out there that, okay, well, we're going to continue with the 38. We got the improved that, so that'll go to energy to oil from, I guess, 3% right now to 6%. Good. Next time. Should be changed. I would be very interested in hearing your thoughts. What should be changed? Okay, 216. No, I don't really want to buy fuel. I want to produce my own fuel. Oh, I would like metal. Yes, you can have metal. Okay, still get nervous when I see the auto saves going. Okay, heavy armor. Forging has advanced. Okay, allows research of battle cruiser armor thickness, capital ships, and heavy battleship armor thickness. I don't know that we're really going to concern ourselves, at least with this playthrough, with that. But we are going to stop a 1940s tech from being researched. I'm thinking more like here. And I can definitely, if you're going, hey gamer, I really don't know how to mod. Basically, it's getting in with a text editor. Some of the stuff, and I don't know how much help. One thing I'm thinking would be very complicated. I'm not sure about doing it all. The rest, a lot of it is fairly simple once you get the sort of format down, and so it's just I need people to go through and check things. Okay. Great officer purges has begun. They're having fun killing their leadership. Some nearly impronounceable German thing has happened. Okay. Here, we're going to stop that. Okay. I'm deciding not to do any more of these. So I guess we're going to look at, well, the plate construction. Sure, you may have metal. Come on, just go and cut that fortress off, and then you'll be able to go, okay, small warship screws and rudder fans. We do the Monroe effect early, I guess. So I don't know. I'm really interested to hear what you would like to see changed about black ice. Even if something I'm not going to do, I'd still like to know what's, people don't like change. Change is uncomfortable. But obviously, we want change from the base game. We want the mod. And so we want some of that for sure. Oh, Hindenburg disaster. Pause. Right. Okay. getting down into a lot of this. So what I'm going to do here is, let's do, okay, unhitch that. Let's do this. Okay, that looks still a bit over. There we go. Okay, we got for the more rare materials. No, here. Okay, 26 cents. Pretty good, though. I think we did go down here a little bit. And the money for more crude oil. I don't think so. Hindenburg, gain and descent. Yeah, see, and this is some of the things we got to go in and do I change this? A disaster? I know that I gotta go. We gotta go in and look at the stuff, and I can help get somebody up to speed a little faster than I go through and compare it. Basically, a lot of what needs to be done is to get an appropriate text editor, and then you go and compare. Okay, reinforcements is mostly caught up, but we'll let this continue. Again, I'm going to push that down. Is go and compare what changed from, say, 10.33 to 10.41 in black ice, and then see how, for a file, and see how TRE changed the file, and then go in and make the changes to the new version. I mean, that's sort of a simplified thing, but so it's mostly just a lot of grunt work. But so if somebody wants to do it, somebody wants to help. And another. Aufsteigertikisch. See, very clear language, German. Aufsteigertikisch. Excuse me, you coughed. Right, okay, increase to 1. I know it has some meaning to you Germans, but to us it looks like just a bunch of random letters somebody threw into a pile. Up here. Okay. Elastic defense. See, that's simple to say. Elastic defense. We can also do the brigade, whatever. Let's do that first since it's a 1918. We'll do some of these first. They research faster. And what does Hungary want? We would give them money for fuel. Decline. I'm not sure what they changed. This is another thing. Buying copper from Chile. Oh yes, you can have metal. Because we're definitely not making as much fuel as we used to. And we're obviously not burning much fuel, if any real fuel at all. Why am I here? Just want to see, are we importing any fuel? Or exporting fuel, I should say. So look down here. I don't think we are. See, we're not even exporting any fuel, and we're having trouble building it up as much. And that is something I want to take a look at. Close air support advance. I think, yeah, look at that one's grayed out. And we can go to ground attack focus since it's 37 technology. You know, why does Chile need aluminum from the Netherlands? Can we quickly determine it's, I'm guessing it's a, aluminum air build speed. So is Chile building enough aircraft units that it's a 7.5% build speed reduction, build time reduction? Yeah, build time reduction because it is useful to it. Really, Chile should not see the thing that money should be used for these other nations, other than places like Germany and the USA, should be used to buy weaponry. You know, that would be a real thing. And I sort of kind of get that, whatever, but this game doesn't do a proper buying and selling of things like aircraft and whatnot, even rifles, and many nations didn't build their own. Like Portugal didn't build any of its own small arms. I don't even think it made most of its munitions, things that go out of arms production. Now, Belgium did. They had their own gun manufacturing, and a bunch of nations did, their own rifles, but Turkey didn't. Okay, what? Okay, mountain warfare equipment finished. I think that, yeah, one and done. So what we're gonna do is, I think this needs, okay, transport hull needs to be to 2. So we need to get on that now. And marine activation. Marine activation needs amphibious warfare equipment, at least 1. So we'll want to come back and do that when we get that. And underway replenishment, naval doctrine, and base construction, at least 2. So we'll want to get to here when we can. And what was the underway replenishment? That's right, which we're already doing, so that's very good. Well, I think we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos if you have, or if you haven't, please do it. And again, your comments below. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.